GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's Friday, November 19th, the end of the week. Welcome to the National Outlook. President warns Guyanese to brace for increase in cost of living. Well, Mr. President, Dr. President, tell us something that we don't know. Tell me something and tell the rest of our fellow Guyanese something that we are not living with at this time and we've been living with for a while. And I'm not, the pandemic certainly, I agree with the President, has aggravated, exacerbated the situation, intensified the situation where prices are concerned. But the President admitted, and it's a rare admission on his part that has something to do with accuracy, that it's going to get worse. He said, and he pointed to, that the increase of cost of living is a result of the global supply chain crisis. The President and his ministers are good, and I applaud them, with using American-type jargon. Global supply chain crisis. Oh, it has a lovely ring to it. But that's only part of the problem, my brothers and sisters. Global supply chain crisis because of factories closed and workers not available and workers out of the premises, and so on ports, international ports, creating a backlog, a severe backlog. We've got price pressures. Let's acknowledge that. That's fair. But that's part of the story only, and that is what we must think about. The real part of the story is the private sector, which is a powerful and a major part of the President's constituency. The PPP government's constituency is a pack of rogues. They're a pack of gougers and rip-off artists. They've got little ones, those in the middle, and the big ones who are really the worst of all. They rip off Guyanese from the marketplaces to the big places, to the lovely stores and all of that. And it just never stops. The small people are being ripped off. The small people are feeling the squeeze. And the small people are left held to ransom. So more US dollars are coming in. The increase in supply, and it's going to get more in December with Christmas and spending splurges. So the Guyana dollar is going to be swamped. It's going to be less Guyana dollars for US dollars, the oversupply of US dollars, right? Right now, I understand on the street it's 200 for one or 205. That's down. It's an appreciation of the Guyana dollar relative to the US dollar. But it does not translate, and I spoke about this before, to us buying more or the same amount of goods with whatever the exchange rate is. You ask the regular housewife, shopper, and they can't buy things. The Kaieteur newspaper been telling you about the price of flour and salt and whatever else. Everybody has jacked up their prices, and we are not talking about 10%, 15%, maybe 20%. We're talking much more, upwards of 30% and more than that. So really, for the essentials, the cost of living has gone up. You tell the minibus driver that you're not going to pay him the extra. You know what? Be prepared to walk, and to walk in the dark, and to be vulnerable to the criminals. So the cost of living, yes, it has something to do with the global supply chain crisis, but it's my position that the private sector, which is in bed, which the PPP government is in bed with, is turning around and ripping all of us off with increased prices, including PPP supporters, the ordinary ones, the big shot ones who are stealing so much money. They will get by. We're not worried about them. The ones who are cheating on their taxes and who are doing all the other things, They will get by. It's the little guy, the minimum wage people, the people who are struggling to send their children to school. I want you to think about that. If you think cost of living is rough now, it is going to get rougher. That's unfortunately the reality that we are forced to deal with come December, come next year. I'm GHK Lal. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Do have a healthy, safe, and sensible weekend. God bless.